all-new Dr. Phil.
Are you an abusive mother? Did you spank her with a spoon till it snapped in half?
Absolutely not. I have never hit you and made you bleed.
Are you kidding me?
Have you lost your mind?
You say, I do remember dragging her down the stairs by her hair, and then say, I don't remember abusing her during her childhood.
I said, I'm sorry.
No, you haven't. What you've said is a bunch of bull. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
I'll try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Well, Gemma emailed me because she thinks her daughter, Cian, has a drinking problem and is worried she will drink and drive with her 4-year-old granddaughter in the car. But when we started researching the story, we discovered quite a twist to this family drama. It turns out Gemma's daughters, Cian and Rochelle, say it is their mother who has a problem, not Cian. Both daughters say Gemma has abused them for the past 20 years. When confronted, however, Mom says she can't really remember being that abusive. Rochelle shared this text message from Gemma just 2 months ago, which said, quote, "You can take your abused childhood and shove it. I obviously did not beat you enough because you are a bleep." Now, both girls haven't talked to their mother now in 2 months because they say, well, they just had enough of her excuses. Take a look.
My mom has been abusive to my sisters and I our whole lives.
It wasn't just a spanking. It was a beatdown. My mom will deny until the day that she dies that she has ever abused her children.
She knew what she did. She would tell us not to tell anybody at school.
Exactly.
When I was 12 years old, my mom was so angry with me that she spanked me with a spoon until the spoon snapped in half, and then she finished spanking me with the spatula.
When I was 13, I was not coming up the stairs fast enough, so we met each other at the top of the stairs, and that's when she started beating me. She slammed my head into the wall. She was on top of me, hitting me when Cian came.
Rochelle was crumpled, like, on the floor. My mom had her by the hair as she's punching Rochelle. I'm like, stop, and she turned at me almost like a bear. And she got this wild look in her eyes and then came at me.
After my mom threw the first punch, they were hitting each other out into the front yard. My mom was on top of Cian with a cocked fist, and our neighbors saw. That's when they called the police.
Now that I've left my mother's house, she is just as physically and verbally abusive to me. When I don't do what she wants, she will say, I'm gonna come over and beat your ass.
My mom sent me some text messages. You can take your bitch ass straight to hell, you manipulating.
My mother is crazy, she is abusive, and in denial at the same time.
Now, Gemma says it's not as bad as they say it is. Take a look.
I have never abused my children, and if I did, I would remember that. When my daughters were little, I did spank them, and I would swat them on the butt, but I always looked for alternative ways to punish them without hitting them. There's plenty of true things to say about me. This is not true. I did not beat my children. I feel angry that they would say these things to me, and I feel angry about the fact that that's what we're focusing on. The real problem is with Cian's drinking. Cian has had 2 DUIs, and in the past she's gotten in a serious drunk driving accident where she was scalped and it severed her right ear. But Cian refuses to get help, and Rochelle is sabotaging everything that I do. My daughters blame me for Cian's alcoholism. Rochelle and Cian If they put it on me, they don't have to do anything. I don't know why they chose me to be the scapegoat in this situation. If Cian was 17 years old, I would take responsibility for that, but we're talking about a 30-year-old woman. Cian's an adult now, and she needs to take responsibility for her problems. The problem is not me.
Okay, so Jimmy, you haven't seen your daughters in a couple of months, right?
No,
All right, and why is that?
because the whole family has turned on me and stopped speaking to me or is either abusing me, and I don't seek out their company.
Okay, how are they abusing you?
They're making things up, making up lies, blaming Cian's alcoholism on me, and it's not my fault. I'm not going to take responsibility. She's 30 years old.
Okay. You are an alcoholic, right?
Correct.
All right, and we'll talk about that in a bit. These girls say that you have abused them for 20 years.
That is crap. Seriously.
Okay, let's define what you call abuse.
I don't believe that I abused my children.
What do you define as abuse? What is okay with you?
You know, I'm not exactly sure what is okay. I know what is not okay.
All right, what is not okay?
Leaving marks on your child, or, you know, handcuffing them, or, you know, whatever, those types of things.
Handcuffing's bad. All right, we got that. So
Yeah.
you handcuff them, that's bad.
Or, you know, or, you know, leave marks on them, bruises, welts, whatever.
All right, now, Cian says that you have spanked her excessively. I think spanking is a mild word, that you've caused bruising and bleeding on her.
What the hell?
Yes, absolutely.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember when I was watching Rochelle? I was 12 or 13 years old, and you left money for us while you were at work to order a pizza. The dogs ate the pizza. You beat me.
Have you?
No, I have not lost my mind.
The dog ate
yes,
a pizza?
Off of the
You
back.
are lying.
No, I am
You are
not.
lying.
You don't remember. Because I could not sit down and you told me not to
you
tell
lost
my
your damn
teacher.
mind?
I have not lost my mind. You don't remember. Do you remember the racetrack? The rubber racetrack?
No, I'm afraid that you are mistaken. That might
I
have been
am
your
not
grandma,
mistaken.
but it wasn't me. I don't think so.
Yes,
I don't
know,
think
and
so.
that's the
No.
problem. It is
I have
straight
never,
truth, and
ever,
you know
ever
it.
hit
No.
you and made you bleed.
Are you kidding?
I let this go on long enough to just get a snapshot of how you communicate in this family.
It didn't used to be that way. It didn't used to be this way.
Oh, it just started this morning.
No, it started a year ago.
The biggest difference is I usually don't talk back. Because
That's
I get
not true.
smacked across my face.
Have you lost your mind?
I don't think she's lost her mind. I just think she's not willing to zip it right now. I think she's...
I'm not asking her to.
Well, you certainly seem to have an attitude of managing by intimidation.
Well, here's the thing. It didn't used to be that way. Since December of last year, they have abused me like you would not believe, calling me names, calling me a hedonistic whore, telling me that I took my daughters to trashy photo shoots, and just all these. First, it started out that it was my fault that I sent her to Job Corps and sent her, you know, fed her to the wolves.
So you're the victim here.
I think that this whole situation has gotten out of control, and the reason why they are saying this is if Cian's alcoholism is my fault, they don't have to do anything about her drinking and driving with my granddaughter in the car. And yes, I did freak out in December, and I have been freaking out since then because no one in this family sees it an issue that she's drinking and driving with my granddaughter.
I don't drive.
So there is no truth to any of the accusations they're making whatsoever.
You know what? Not the bleeding part. I did spank them, yes.
Did you spank her with a spoon till it snapped in half?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay. Now somebody's lying here. If you people want my help, I'm going to take a break right now, and I'm going to give you a chance to think. Somebody either got beat with a spoon until it broke, or they didn't. There aren't versions of that. That either happened or it didn't. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, Rochelle says there is one fight she'll never forget. Is that going to be a war of the lies as well? What does her mother remember about that fight? We'll talk about all of that when we come back.
I do remember getting to a fight with Rochelle. I pushed her on the floor.
She came after me again, and I grabbed a pair of scissors, and I told her, if you don't stop, I'm gonna have to stab you. Because if you don't stop, you're gonna kill me, and I'm gonna have to kill you first.
And later,
Don't spank children with wooden spoons.
I didn't spank you.
are you an abusive mother?
Apparently, yes.
Apparently, my ass, are you an abusive mother? Have you ever choked, slapped, or pulled someone's hair or slammed their head into the wall until they bled? Wouldn't you think you would remember something like that? And don't you think you would remember if it involved your own child? Now, Gemma says her daughters, Cian and Rochelle, have accused her of abusing them for 20 years, yet she says she just can't remember any of it. Let's see what she recalls about this fight with Rochelle. Take a look.
I do remember getting to a fight with Rochelle when she was around 16 or 17 years old.
I was packing my bags so that I could leave, and she told me that I couldn't take a bag, that I just needed to leave the house.
She started calling me names. I pushed her on the floor. I had just had surgery on my leg, and she started punching me in the incision in my leg.
I was then dragged down the staircase. I had bruised ribs. I had bruises all down my body from where she had punched and kicked me. I had ruptured the blood vessel in my left eye. After I had fallen down the stairs, she came after me again. And I grabbed a pair of scissors, and I told her, if you don't stop, I'm gonna have to stab you. Because if you don't stop, you're gonna kill me, and I'm gonna have to kill you first. The neighbors ended up calling the cops because they saw her throw me out the front door.
When I got into a fight with Rochelle, social services did show up. He asked me, what do you think would be the odds of this happening again? And I told him, it depends on whether she's gonna call me a or try to hit me anymore. If she doesn't do that, it'll never happen again. If it does, I'm gonna punch her in the face. I meant that then, and I mean it now.
Okay, did that happen?
Not the way that she put it out to, made it out to be. I did.
Okay, wait, stop. You know, I looked at the language, the rhetoric that you guys use. Verbally abusive, left marks, physical altercation, threatening, beat me, volatile, swat, attack me, cussing, spiraling, pushing, choking, kicking, fighting, slapping, angry, yelling, abusing. This is all of the words that just pepper all three of your interviews. That is the nomenclature of your family. Do you deny that?
No.
Do you all deny that?
No.
This is your life. This is your world. Monster, dangerous, lying, hurt, blaming, numb, manipulative. When I looked at all of this, I sat down and started making a list of what would describe my family culture, my best friend's family culture. This is extreme. There is no one in my world, no one in the orbit of my life or Robin's, that would describe their family culture in this way. By the way, that's a good thing to do. You should sit down at home, get out a piece of paper, and start writing down all the words that describe your family culture. Did you get in a fight with your daughter and she winds up falling down the stairs and it spills out into the yard enough that police are called, CPS are called, and you tell them, yeah, it ain't gonna happen again unless she says something, then I'm gonna punch her in the face?
The police actually made her leave because she was acting up. They made her leave. I had marks on me, but the whole thing didn't happen the way that she said. I did drag her down the stairs. I opened up the front door, put her out in the grass, and then I shut the door and locked it. The neighbors called the police.
No, let her go. Let her go.
The neighbor called the police, and when the police got there, they actually made Rochelle leave over to her friend's house, and then social services came about maybe 4 days later. There was no scissors. I didn't hit her. I did drag her down the stairs, and I did pull her hair. But the rest of it, she is made up, Dr. Phil. I remember my children as being good kids. They hardly ever got in trouble. And I worked 80 to 90 hours a week, almost their whole childhood. And I'm not devaluing what they're saying here. I'm saying that they're taking things and making them into huge, huge things. And I never spanked Cian until I broke a spoon.
You punched me in my face.
I did not punch
I was
you.
8 months pregnant. Keep your hands off of pregnant women.
I did not punch you.
Keep your hands off of pregnant women and children.
And later,
I did not beat.
Where's the text messages referring to the blood vessel ruptured in my eye and how that's nothing compared to what she's going to do to me now?
well, we have that.
They're not being truthful about the situations. I am not saying that I'm completely innocent.
Read that to me.
No, dragged down the stairs, pulled her hair, and threatened to punch her in the face. I'm not saying I'm innocent.
Just that. Based on those statements alone, are you an abusive mother?
Yes, to an extent.
Dude,
No, what I'm saying
that's
is...
like being pregnant to an extent.
What I feel like that there are some things that I could have done that were abusive. But that one, she was punching and hitting me.
You are the adult.
And
You
not a very
are the
good one.
mother.
And I have to say I'm not a very good one. I'm not saying that I'm a great mother. I'm not a very good one. And what I'm saying is I did not leave marks and bruises on Cian. And this one...
Exactly.
Punched me in the face at my baby shower.
I did not punch you.
Are you kidding me? You had to be removed.
You know what? No, I was leaving. You walked up to me and said, bitch, why don't you go take your pills? And I slapped you.
No.
Yes,
I was late to my own baby shower because I was doing you a favor by picking up your medication. You were in a tizzy when I got there. And I will say, yes, I did refer to you taking your medication because it needed to happen, and you punched me in my face.
I did not punch
I was
you.
8 months pregnant. Keep your hands off of pregnant women.
I did not punch you.
Keep your hands off of pregnant women and children.
I do
Keep
agree
your
with
hands
that.
off of pregnant women and off of children.
I agree with that. I do. I do.
Don't spank children with wooden spoons.
I didn't spank you
Yes,
until the wooden... You know what?
Take a minute.
That was not me.
We could add,
I didn't punch her. I've
well,
never punched
she
my
says
children.
punch, you say slap.
I have never punched my children.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, you can debate slapped or punched. You struck her in the face. Okay, so what you've said in the last 5 minutes, you dragged one of them down the stairs, pulled her hair, threatened to punch her in the face, then you struck the other one in the face.
And that's only 2.
Okay, are you an abusive mother?
Apparently, yes.
Apparently, my ass, are you an abusive mother?
Yes.
I mean, this is just what you said.
Well, here's my thing is that in comparison, I do have to say that my view of abuse was leaving marks.
You did leave marks.
And I am not going to say that I have serious issues. I really do. I really, really do. You know, my childhood was brutal, extremely brutal. And I have been the family scapegoat my whole life. I get blamed for absolutely everything. I don't remember the things the way that they remember them. I have huge issues. I totally do. I'm here to fix them.
No, you're here to fix her.
No,
you're right. No, listen, don't tell me what you wrote me. I know, listen, I read every word of your letter. I read every word of every interview, and you're here to fix her.
I asked that could I possibly have forgotten beating and abusing my children when they were little? Can I have forgotten these details? If Cian's drinking problem and Rochelle's not speaking to me and all of these things are happening because I'm a horrible person, then do something with me.
Okay, let me just see. Just let me see if I can get this straight. You say you're not abusive because your definition of abuse is leaving marks.
That's what I used to think, yes.
Okay, so that was your thought.
That was used to think, yes.
And so you don't remember leaving marks, and so anything short of that, in your definition, would be non-abusive.
Not now, no.
No, but I'm saying when you've been saying that, no, I don't remember abusing them because you don't remember leaving marks.
No, because I don't remember.
And that was your definition of abuse.
The only time I really remember hitting my children is when they were older. I remember getting upset with Cian one time and spanking them with a flip-flop. They all have been telling me that I am abusive, but they never say how.
You know how. You know how.
We're going to get very specific about that. Coming up, Cian says her husband hit her because Gemma told him to. Well, we're going to meet him next and let him explain. We'll be right back.
I called Gemma and she told me, punch that bitch in the face like a man.
Closed captioning provided by...
I had a lot of dreams and I had a lot of potential. I wanted to either be a lawyer or an engineer. I had good enough scores to get into Yale. I could have done a lot of great things with my life if I didn't have to contend with my mother's issues. I ended up getting a general education degree and a trade certificate in facilities maintenance. My mother's abusive behavior really did destroy any potential that I had to do great things.
Well, Cian says she grew up living with a, quote, mommy dearest. She says her memories of Gemma are full of violence and emotional abuse, so she says she turned to the bottle. Cian says she has her alcoholism under control, but her husband Derek says it has not been a blissful ride.
My wife definitely has a drinking problem. Gemma wants Cian to get help, but she wants her to do it her way. She tells all of her friends and family about it and tries to control her through embarrassment or threats.
Every time she brings it up, it makes me want to drink. I am afraid she will push me or trigger me, then call Child Protective Services and get my child taken away from me.
Gemma escalates the problems from bad to worse. There was a time my wife Cian got really drunk at a trade show and decided to attack me. I called Gemma to get her advice to help her calm down, and she told me, if any of my daughters want to fight you like a man, then punch that bitch in the face like a man. I got off the phone, the fight continued to escalate. I tried walking away, she ran and jumped on my back. I pushed her away and slapped her across the face. I feel like I've been pushed to physical violence to defend myself in my relationship with my wife. So living with that abuse had an effect on me to where now I'm becoming the abusive one when I wasn't before. I'm committed to not behaving that way any longer, and Cian is as well. Gemma really just needs to recognize the progress that Cian's made and butt out.
That's not true. That's an absolute lie. That conversation did not happen that way.
You are so full of it because I called you after. I said it 1,000 times.
Okay, so Derek...
It didn't happen that way.
I called you after.
What did you tell him?
and I said if a woman gets up and attacks a man, that he should knock her to the floor. That is what I said.
No.
How is that materially different from what he said?
I was talking because it wasn't in reference to her. When we were talking about drunk women, we were talking about drunk women at the bar attacking other people in a casual conversation.
I got you. Go ahead, Derek.
We weren't in a casual conversation. I was standing out front of a trade show in San Francisco, and Cian was drunk, and I called her, and that was her response.
I never told him to hit my daughter.
Yes, multiple times.
I never told him to hit my daughter.
I think we understand the significance of the comment. You're saying
it was taken out of context.
That was your advice for your eldest daughter's new boyfriend, was punch her in the face if she gets out of line.
No,
and I called you after and I said, Mom, why the hell would you do that?
I would not tell him to hit you. I don't believe, because I think
I talked to you and you said, Cian, you told me on the phone, Cian, if you do that,
you know what, I remember two situations that happened. All the rest of this stuff did not happen.
Here's a text that you just sent recently. If you get in my face or call me a bitch or try to hit me, I will still bleep you up with no guilt, Rochelle, none.
Yes.
If any of you treat me like I am trying to hurt Cian again, you better do it over the phone, because I am going to get you and punch you right in your bleep face.
I did say that. I did not beat my children.
Where's the text messages referring to the blood vessel ruptured in my eye and how that's nothing compared to what she's going to do to me now?
Well, we have that.
Well, here's my thing, is that
that exists.
A ton of
So you deny and deny and deny and deny and deny until you want to bully somebody and threaten them with the abuse that you caused as we were kids.
I'm not denying. What I'm saying is the instances in which you say and you say
you're absolved of.
I am on this show because you're bullying me. I haven't
hardly had a conversation with you about this, Cian. I did go off on you.
It's like my worst nightmare.
Okay, stop talking. If you did half of what they're saying.
Not even half.
Seriously?
Because not all of it is true. I didn't do everything that they said.
Closed captioning provided by Do you think when you get home and watch this show back, do you think that you are going to come across as someone that likely crossed the line in your discipline as a parent?
Yes, that's why I'm here.
And why do you keep arguing to defend it?
What I'm saying is that all the things that they're saying are not true. There are some things that are true.
Okay.
And I'll admit to those ones.
Okay. Why are you defending it?
Defending what? That I didn't do everything that they said?
What difference does it make if you did half of what they're saying?
Not even half.
Seriously? Come on, you can't be that devoid of insight and understanding.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I do need help.
So why are you defending it?
Because not all of it is true.
What difference does that make?
Because I want to take ownership of what belongs to me.
But not all of it's true.
If it's all a lie, if we were never abused when we were kids, we all just decided one day to pull random instances out of our hat about how you abused us when we were kids? No,
you have. Yes, you have.
Those keywords, those aren't our family dynamic unless you are around.
Because when the rest
and that's
of us,
why you're not invited to a lot of this stuff. When it's the rest of our family, extended family included, those adjectives turn into laughing, joy, fun, family, camaraderie, all kinds of stuff. But as soon as you come around, the entire dynamic changes and it turns into this. And you don't have to say anything. When you walk in, the aura that you bring with you is this, because each and every one of us has our own stigma with you. It's not that we're getting together in a I hate mom party. It's all on an individual level. We don't even talk about it really to each other.
Yes. That has happened since December, but prior, it did not happen before December.
Okay, and that's where we're saying that you are being delusional. You are not basing what you are feeling in our reality. I don't know if you're blocking it out. I don't know if you're choosing not to, if it's just rose-colored glasses, but it is wrong, and I need you to admit it.
Prior to December, Rochelle lived with me. Cian has lived with me. Derek lived with me. At no point was there any. We had dinners together. We went shopping. We did all of these things, and then I find out that Cian.
How old was Rochelle when you drug her down the stairs by her hair?
17.
So how old are you now?
24.
That was before December.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was talking about what she said, what she was saying. I was talking about what she was saying.
Listen, you want to argue over specific events, and specific events don't matter. You're saying
you're right.
that you have shown abusive behavior since December.
But not physically, except for that. You were punching me.
No, Mom, here's the thing, is that you say that I threw the first hit. I'm smarter than that, because you're a whole hell of a lot bigger than I am, and you're a whole hell of a lot tougher than I am.
Let me stop this for a minute.
I don't even want to argue about
this. It does not matter.
I know.
An adult does not attack a child. That is a crime.
Thank you.
But at least didn't think it was a crime.
I don't care what the police said on that day at that time. There really is something wrong with your thinking.
There is.
Let me tell you, there is something wrong with their thinking.
That is why
coming up, Cian says her mother is focused on her alcoholism to avoid what's really going on with their family. We're going to talk about that next. I'm going to stop arguing with these people. I'm going to tell her what's really going on here. They're either going to hear it or they're not, because I am not listening to any more of this yeah, back and forth. My life is too short. We will be right back.
I suffered a great deal of abuse as a child, and because of that, there are huge chunks of my life that I don't remember. But because of my abuse, I can be very volatile sometimes, but I know that when I had Cian, I loved her very much, and I promised her that I was not going to ever hurt her. But I just don't remember everything. I don't think I did.
I don't want to play semantics with you. I don't want to play word games with you. There is absolutely zero doubt in my mind that you have been abusive with these girls throughout their life. Zero doubt. You want to debate some detail, let's talk about this event. Who hit who first? You know, I've spent most of my professional career in the litigation arena. And if this had been a cross-examination, the jury would be out for about 45 seconds, however long it took to write down guilty, because you have confessed to everything they have accused you of. What you've tried to do is deflect from the bigger issue by arguing about some insignificant dates and times and particular words in the sentences. See, stop. This is my turn. Okay. I've listened to you the entire hour. Okay? No. You don't get to ask anything right now. You don't get to ask anything right now. And you've cried 5 times, but you haven't shed a tear yet. So just listen. Just listen to me. I'm telling you here that you've admitted to everything, and you've done it all the while arguing about insignificant details. And what was your response to me? Well, there were 2 things that...
No, I was saying 2 things I needed help with. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you wanted to deflect what I was saying by changing the subject and altering the narrative to talk about 2 things that you sent in on your letter, which I read. And by the way, I can give it back to you verbatim without looking if you would like for me to.
No, I just need some help.
No, what you need is to listen to me right now. You need to stop telling me you need help, and you need to listen to yourself getting it. Hear it.
Yeah.
These girls, despite everything that you have inflicted upon them, love you very much. They're here. They're willing to come here. Much of this is humiliating to them, what's been done to them. But yet they're here. I don't mean to trivialize in the slightest what happened to you as a child, because everything that has happened to them as children, I suspect happened to you and worse, because you are toxic. Closed captioning provided by. I think that you do need some very specific help with this, and what you have to do is stop trying to spin it, contextualize it, defend it, or run from it by hiding behind details. You have been abusive with these girls. The details of where, when, and how don't matter, but you have been. And you need to acknowledge that with no buts, no conditions, and no qualifications.
I have.
Well,
I have admitted that
they don't hear that. What they hear is there's always a but, there's always a condition, there's always a qualifier. They have never heard you say, I crossed the line and abused you girls, and I am sorry and will spend the rest of my life making it up to you.
That was the reason why that I came here in the first place, because I felt like that if you were here and we had a mediator, that you guys would tell me, because you guys have never told me. You guys have never said.
You don't need to criticize them now. You either need to say it or don't.
I'm just saying, I wish you would have told me sooner that I abused you, so that we could have done it. I would have done this. I would have helped. Okay.
Stop talking.
I'm sorry.
No, you haven't. What you said is a bunch of bull. Do you acknowledge that what these girls say you did to them throughout their childhood is true?
Yes.
That's it. I
feel like.
That's not an essay question. That's not an essay question.
Okay.
They
Yes,
say
I feel
that
like
you
I
have abused them throughout their childhood.
That's what they're saying. I don't remember doing it throughout my childhood.
or no?
I'm sorry, I don't remember. I don't remember doing it throughout their childhood.
Don't tell me you don't remember when you can sit there and say, I do remember dragging her down the stairs by her hair when she was 12 years old, and then say, I don't remember abusing her during her childhood.
This is me. This is me. I can't help it. I'm sorry. I want this to be over.
I'll just ask the audience here. Has this woman been abusive to these two girls throughout their childhood? If you would vote guilty, stand up right now. So now everybody in the room sees that but you.
I'm here because I want to change,
Okay,
and I want, in my heart, my children are hurting. I don't know where it starts. I don't know where it ends.
I think you are
Me too.
totally insincere.
I'm sorry.
I think you're totally insincere. Okay, I'll excuse you now. You may leave. I'm going to talk to your daughter. Thank you for being here.
Sorry, Cian and Rochelle. I really am.
I'll finish up with you guys now, and I do want to talk about your alcohol. Have you driven with your child in the car?
No.
Is that true?
No.
Okay, you're 2 months sober at this point, correct?
Correct.
Is that correct?
Thank you.
I've done lots of terrible things.
And you have a plan that you're working,
yes,
and you're staying with that.
Yes, absolutely.
Your mother is stuck in her head.
Yeah.
And she needs some serious help, and I'm going to arrange for her to have some. I am going to make arrangements for both of you as survivors of childhood abuse to have professional help to help you unravel that ball of yarn and make sure that your self-worth, your self-esteem, your self-identity is well intact, and that takes some work. And if you'll let me make those arrangements for you, I will.
Yes, please.
Okay? All right. I do want to thank my guest today. We are going to make an effort to help her, but I wanted to be able to talk to these two without this presence here, which is why I excused her. Okay. For more information about today's show, log on to drphil.com. You can also join the conversation today on Facebook and Twitter. We'll see you next time.